Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. What you're about to hear is possibly the most angriest German man to have ever played Overwatch.
I don't know, again, I got no healing, I don't know. It's stupid. If I get no healing as a Reinhardt, and it's a fucking Anna's job to heal primary our Reinhardt, because he's the one that needs so fucking much health, because he's at the front line, then you deserve to lose, man. And you definitely deserve to lose. You don't know how to play a fucking Anna.
Dude, you're supposed to protect the Anna, not let her just die and then you're no.
That's not.
You've got to. You can't just go around slamming
people. Check my stats. Okay, shut the fuck up. Check my stats. Look how many fucking hours I played on Reinhardt. Look how many fucking times I spent in competitive. So shut the fuck up, man. No, makes a difference. If you don't know how to fucking play an Anna, man, and don't.
I'm not even Anna.
Tanks,
what are you talking about?
He's not Anna. He's not even Anna.
What are you talking about? You need to go and calm down, my friend. You're a bit
Indeed.
No, it's because it's fucking stupid. Because I give the call to fucking be the Reinhardt and I get no heals. So
dude,
I don't know.
You have 0 hours on quick play and you have like
it doesn't matter.
2 hours on Reinhardt. That is not like a million hours.
Reinhardt just doesn't go in and like Reinhardt has to play with the team.
Stats, okay?
You don't learn Reinhardt.
Well, check your stats. Check your stats.
Dude,
check my stats.
I paid 160 hours in Reinhardt, you fucking son of a bitch. What are you fucking talking? Fucking idiot.
Come on.
Well, my main's GM, and I know when I see one. So.
Dude, you don't know how to fucking play. Fucking just go back to your fucking.
Yeah, that's why.
Oh lordy lord! Oh my god, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Stylosa and this is Unit Lost, and I have had the worst day of Overwatch competitive I have ever had. I think at the end of the day, I lost 8 games, maybe 7 or 8 games. There was no wins; they were all losses. Now they weren't games after each other, so I didn't play a game and then again and again and again and again. What I was doing was I was playing throughout the day, generally what I do. So, you know, I'd play a couple of games in the morning, do a bit of work, a couple of games later. I was doing that kind of thing. But every time I joined a game, there was somebody who was just, like, toxic isn't even the word. They were just, like, crazy. It was like, holy hell. There were really bad players. There were really toxic players. There were players that wanted to troll. Now, all of this stuff, I kind of... It's made me understand Overwatch a little bit better, because I think I've been in a little bit of a bubble, because I play with a couple of people generally all of the time. I very rarely solo queue. I play with like in a duo queue or a triple queue, so it means you can kind of rely on some of your team, and it means that generally you're not exposed to this kind of toxic behavior, I suppose, or these sort of crazy players. But I after getting, I guess, unlucky and having to deal with this, I can categorically say right now, right, you could be a very good Overwatch player, but you have just lost games because you have queued into people who are just insane. Now, before this horrific experience, I would have said, look, yeah, sure, you're going to get a toxic player, right? Or you're going to get an idiot, or you're going to get a troll. And usually, this will balance itself out, because after, you know, if you get a bad player on your team, a couple of games down the line, the enemy are going to get a bad player on their team, and then, you know, it's going to work. There's going to be karma, right? But after seeing it in literally 7 or 8 games straight after each other, I'm starting to think, like, yeah, like, if that, I mean, imagine if that was, well, how much SR have I lost? I was nearly 3.9, and now I'm like 3.6. So I've lost like 300 SR there through what I'm going to say was no fault of mine. Now, at every kind of level of the game, unless you're exceptionally better than the tier you're in. So I spoke about this before. So if you're like a top 500 player and you're playing in gold, you'll kill the entire enemy team because you'll just be so much better. But if you're a gold player playing in gold, or you're a master player playing in master, or, you know, you're a top 500 player playing in the top 500, you cannot have somebody on your team who just doesn't play the game, or who wants to be really toxic, or who wants to throw the game by doing stupid things. If you've got one of those guys, then you're going to lose the game. And what that means is that, oh my god, could Elo Hal actually be a thing? Now, I've never really thought it was, but the problem with Overwatch, and it will always have this issue, is you run into people who just, for some reason, want to lose. They're tilted, they're crazy, they're mad, they don't care. The smallest thing goes wrong and they go just ultra aggressive. Like the guy at the start of this video that you heard, the German fellow, who's playing Reinhardt, and he was just like, he had hundreds of hours on Reinhardt. I don't think, in my professional opinion, he was that good, right? He was okay, he was doing a lot of basic Reinhardt things right, but Reinhardt is generally a case of beating the enemy Reinhardt, and their Reinhardt was landing earth shatters into us. He was like just dominating our Reinhardt. He wasn't playing too well. So I think what was happening was our Reinhardt was looking for other excuses. So throughout the game, he was getting more and more tilted, more and more angry, and then just decided to blame it on our Ana player, which hilariously he thought I was the Ana player. What? It's crazy. I was playing Soldier at the time and I was doing well. I had all the golds, which is great, but then medals don't matter, do they, ladies and gentlemen? Winning at the end of the day matters in competitive, I suppose, and we didn't win. We got absolutely wrecked. Well, actually, we only lost. Actually, no, we didn't get wrecked, come think of it. We only lost just at the end, but that guy didn't help because we just had to hold on Numbani, right, on the first point, and it would have been a draw. But the guy was just losing his mind and was just laying into the team, and then you end up losing, and he caused that loss, and I don't understand how these people cannot see that. So let me just go through what happened on this fateful day, because it was, well, it was horrific. And if that was my experience of Overwatch and I didn't have all the other experience that I've got, I would be like, wow, this game is, this is a bit full on. Like, this is a bit, I think I'm just going to take a break because holy shit, it was bad. So out of the games that I can remember, and again, I'm not going to show footage of any of these players, their names or anything like that, because maybe they were just having a bad day or whatever. The first game I remember of the day, we had a player on the team who just wasn't very good. I think he was playing Reaper, and he wasn't very good. He kept saying in the chat he can't change, he only plays Reaper, and it was like, okay. Reaper is not too great when you've got a diva shoved in his face and she's just eating all of his shots and then she kills him. So it wasn't the best. So that was a little bit frustrating, but it wasn't like a total whitewash. It wasn't like, oh god, we've been thrashed. Next game, I was playing with my chum Valkyr, and he plays Pharah a lot, and straight away the team's like, we don't need a Pharah, get off the Pharah. Well, this guy's very good at Pharah, so I mean, it's fine, let him play Pharah, because sometimes playing an off-meta hero can actually work quite well, because the enemy don't expect it. The team didn't like that, they were getting angry, even though he was doing quite well, and they were just getting angry and angrier, and so we lost the game, and it was quite a bad experience. Then we had a Symmetra on attack. You always seem to get a Symmetra on attack at some point. That's just crazy. Then we had a guy who wanted to play a character he couldn't get, so he just started moaning, and the other guy wouldn't change, and it was just like, what is going on? Then we had a team that didn't speak, which I find really crazy. Now, I know a lot of you guys might get this, especially sort of Platinum and below. I don't think people use their voice comms that often. But in Master, everybody uses the voice comp. Like, everybody is on the microphone. There was just no voice chat. In fact, in the next game, it got even worse. So there was an Ana player who said, I'm not joining the voice chat because we've got a Pharah. Now, this is a lot of, like, poor Valkyr, he plays a lot of Pharah. He gets a lot of this all the time. It's like, get off Pharah. It's almost like, you know, people who play Hanzo or people who play Widowmaker. It's like, as soon as people see them, they're like, no, get off them. You have to give them a chance, right? If it doesn't work, then they've got to swap. If they don't swap and then they just keep smashing their head against it, that's where you've got a problem. That's where it can cause an issue. And I think that's where a lot of people do get a bit angry when they see a Hanzo main, a Pharah main, or a Widow main on their team, because they're like, oh my god, they're not going to change. They're just going to keep trying, and it's going to cost us the game, and we're going to get angry. Then we're going to go into the next game, and then we're going to get even angrier, and everybody's getting angry, and it's just a massive angry place, and everybody's getting angry, and it's, oh, Jesus Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, it was really frustrating for me to play the other day, and like, I wanted to get into GM. That was like a goal. I just was like, all right, I'll get to GM. I'm pretty close. I'm sure I can still do it, but just when you get such a setback like that, and you know, you look at yourself, you look at wherever the hell you are. If you're in silver and you're trying to get into gold, and that happens to you, because this can happen anywhere, and I was absolutely flabbergasted that it happened where I was playing. I do have to say one thing though about when you play in Masters and GM. You do get very, very elitist players sometimes with terrible attitudes, and there's quite a few well-known players out there that have got absolutely horrific attitudes, and you do not want those people on your team because they might not be that good actually. Maybe they've been lucky, and maybe they have been carried. I don't think you can get carried as such in Overwatch. It's more about luck, because the carry in Overwatch is getting a team that works together. Because, I'm going to say this straight away, and this is just a statement of fact, you can be a very good player in Overwatch, very good mechanically, and all of that stuff, but if you screw up your ultimates, if you don't get basic ult combinations correct, of which one of the games that I lost the other day, which was a pretty close game, again, but we were on Temple of Anubis, the final point. We've got like a minute to go, and the team's all been wiped, apart from our Zarya. So what does our Zarya do? She fires a Graviton Surge, everybody's dead. She's on her own. She grabs them on the point. And I'm like, what have you just done, Zarya? Why have you done that? And Zarya's like, oh yeah, sorry. I'm not, what? That is literally the worst thing to do. The Zarya play could be great, right? Could have fantastic tracking accuracy, know how to play the class. But as soon as she, well, the hero, as soon as she fires her ultimate like that, we can no longer win, because we had one last push and we needed Graviton to get them together to try and burn them down. And she just wasted it. And things like that will cost you the game. And that's sort of the margins of error that you have to deal with when it's like higher Masters into GM. It's not so much about just walking around and killing everyone. It's about trying to stay together and use your ultimates correctly. If a team does that, they win. It's the same at any level. If you play in Platinum, Gold, Silver, I know it's going to be more difficult to get the team to work together, because maybe they're not going to be and voice comms, maybe they don't know more basic stuff, sort of like stand behind the Reinhardt shield. I mean, you see the age-old thing of like the soldier standing in front of the Reinhardt shield. It's like, what, soldier, what are you doing? Just what? And then he dies, and it's like, oh dearie me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't really know what more to say. It was an experience, and I think I just feel for everybody that plays Overwatch when you get these. I mean, I'm choking trying to talk. I just feel for people who get this kind of experience when they play Overwatch. Like, I think I've been insulated from it a little bit, but having experienced it so consecutively, it's just like outstanding to me that it could even happen. I mean, it's just. Oh my god, it depresses me because I want to, like, I'm making this video to say, look guys, if you are one of these players, please don't do this because it throws the game and it gives the game a bad name as well. If you're being toxic and you're, oh, I played 150 hours of this, you're crap, you're bad. No. I could have made a video and ripped this Reinhardt's play apart. I could have put this on the YouTube channel and been like, look at this. At this point, he's not doing the correct thing. At this point, he does this. Why is he charged in there? Why is he fire striking randomly into Zarya? What is going on? What is he doing? That was a terrible earth shatter. And I could rip people apart like that. But if I did that, I'd be no better than these people. So I just hope that if you are like that, and we all get like this sometimes, I get like this sometimes. I'll get like frustrated and I'll get angry and I'll be like, what are you doing? What? That was the worst thing ever. But I won't shout it over the microphone. I'll say it to myself. But when I start doing that, I stop playing the game because I know I'm going to start getting angry and I'm going to start getting really frustrated because I think the only thing that frustrates me in this game is when you lose a really close game, when it's really, really close, and then you see your rank drop and it's like, great, I've just lost 20, I've just lost 25 points there, and we have lost in overtime, and they've just pushed it in, and it's like. That really makes me angry because I'm like, there must have been something I could have done to have stopped that, just to give us an extra 10 seconds. There's got to have been something I could have done. And then when I start thinking like that, I start spiraling out of control. Ladies and gentlemen, I thought it would be interesting, though, to show you this fellow and then have a discussion about what's happened to literally the worst day of ranked I think I've ever had. I've had worse losing streaks, but I've never experienced it like I have recently, where it's been so toxic, like toxic and just angry and nasty. People need to be nice, ladies and gentlemen. It is a team game after all. Alright guys, I'm Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. If you like the video, then like the video, subscribe to the channel, and you can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Toodaloo.